What's going on, YouTube? OCD for EDC here, and what I got for your face balls today. We're going to be talking about some new stuff that's on the website. We're going to be talking strops, and just an FYI, when you want to do your Sunday stropping and do a little Sunday sipping, you know, nothing's more therapeutic than drinking a little coffee Sunday, Saturday morning, whatever, doing a little stropping. So, go check out OCDforedc.com. We've got these super cool tumblers. They come in multiple different colors. We got black, blue, red, silver, and they're on sale. So go check them out. They all have this logo on one side and then that on the other. Very cool. And I think they're 30-ounce tumblers, I'm pretty sure. So anyway, go check those out. But this video is going to be all about stropping. And I've been trying to get this video done for a while. I've just been incredibly busy, and I just haven't had time to do this. But this is something that I've needed to do for quite some time. So anyway, we've got some new strops that are on the website. They're absolutely amazing. I've showed off a few of them in the live shows, so if you've been in there, you've seen them before. But I haven't really talked about them in great detail, and that's what this video is going to be about. So if you order one of the strops, this is the packaging that it will come in, proudly made in the US of A. So these are actually made right here local in Iowa, and this is what you're going to get in your packaging. So you get these resealable Ziploc bags, as well as some cardboard cutouts to protect your strops, and then you get the strop base, which I'm not going to open this one up because it's all packaged and ready to ship, but let me show you what you get with the strops. And so here are the cardboard cards that you get to protect your strops. And this is what the strop looks like right here. This is what you will get in your package. So let me set those off to the side. Let's get the base out. So right here we've got a 14-inch long base, and you can see it's got these really, really nice rubber feet. And we've got an OCD for EDC sticker on the side, brushed stainless steel. You will not find a better looking strop, a better functioning strop as well. So this thing, you can leave this just sit out. It's very, very nice looking. But here are your two strops. So you will get a piece of basswood. Now these measure 12 by 2.5. And these are magnetic backing that go right onto the strop base. And the strop base, like I said, is 14 inches long, so you do have a little bit of space. You can either center it up or cheat it to one side like this. And then you also get a piece of leather, both magnetic backed, and so they just stick right down onto the strop base. And like I said, you can put them centered up like this, or you can cheat it to one side. That's up to you. But very, very nice looking strop. There's a lot of strops out there on the market. A lot of them are double-sided, which is nice. The only bad part about it is, how do you end up storing it? You really got to kind of hang it vertically, and that's just kind of a bummer. So having the basswood as well as the leather, and you can have multiples. When you buy the strop kit, it comes with one leather and one basswood, and I'm going to show you how to use that in this video here. So we're going to load up some compound on the strop, and what I've got to load it up with, I've got some Norton diamond compound. I've got 1 micron as well as 6 micron, and we're going to get into loading this guy up, and then I'm going to show you how to strop. So let's get these out of here. Now, the stropping compound, I picked up both of these from Sharpening Supplies. So you can go and check out their website. They have a lot of really good stuff on there. But this diamond compound, this Norton compound, works extremely well. And I've used it several times in the past. So we're going to get this. Actually, you know what? I'm going to start with the small, just or start with the fine. And we're going to do the 1 micron first, just because I don't want to contaminate the other direction. And I'll show you what I'm talking about there in just a second. So let's get out the 1 micron. And I'm going to put this on the leather strop, the 1 micron. There we go. And so to load this up, you're just going to go through here and put a little bit down. And then we're going to work it in. I'll show you here what I've got. Now, this will last a very long time. So we'll see if that should be good. But so I've just got like this little kind of putty knife spreader here. And we're just going to work this around. All right. I'm going to have to get my fingers involved because I'm going to have to get it off of this, this little kind of tool here. All right, we're getting there. So like I said, this here is 1 micron diamond paste, and there's lots of different brands out there of compound, and you can go much finer. You know, I've got some 1/4 micron stuff, but for what I'm doing here with this strop, you know, one micron and 6 micron is going to work out really, really well and do what I want it to. So, excellent. All right. Okay. I think we're pretty good there. So we're going to set that one off to the side now. And then this one, because we're doing the heavier grit, 6 micron, I'm not going to be as worried about some cross-contamination. It's not going to hurt anything. So now, make sure there's no dust or anything on there. Okay, now we got the 6 micron down. So I'm just going to use my finger here. We'll get this all worked in. This is how I normally do it, just with my finger. But like I said, you know, trying to church it up a little bit for the video, but you should just stick to what you know. You know what I mean? That thing did not work all that well. I thought it was going to work well. Not so much. All right. So on the basswood, I'm kind of loading this thing up pretty good here. The wood will soak up the compound quite a bit. So we're going to get a nice even coat on here. And then, yeah, should be good to go. And if you guys have never stropped on basswood before, it's excellent to strop on, and just does such a good job of removing the burr. And you know, that's what we're really going for. So I'm going to show you guys how to use this. I get a lot of questions about stropping. It's something that I do a lot of, and for a couple of different reasons. One, you know, of course, first and foremost, maintaining your edge. And, you know, once you get a really good edge on a knife, man, you can do a really, really good job of maintaining it with a strop. And so, you know, you can go a long time in between actual sharpenings if you just maintain the edge with a strop, which is what I generally do. All right. So, probably went a little heavy on the compound here, but that's okay. Not going to hurt anything. We'll let that kind of dry and set up and soak in. All right. So what we're actually trying to do when we're stropping is, we're just refining the apex and removing any burr that's left over from sharpening, which hopefully I'm going to be able to show you guys the burr, and you're going to actually be able to see it on camera. You can certainly see it in person, but on the camera it's a little more difficult. However, it's once you bring the burr up and you get your apex formed, we're just refining that, and then we can maintain the edge by stropping. And so we've got essentially, this is kind of like having two different grits of stones. We've got a coarse, which I've put on this basswood, and then we have the fine, which I've put on this leather. And it's, very much like sharpening. However, it can also be, kind of therapeutic and whatnot. It's kind of nice just to sit there and kind of be in your own little world and, just sitting there seeing how good you can get the edge. So we're going to take a look here after this sets up. We're going to do some stropping, and we'll see how we get on. I've got a sharpness tester that we'll try out, and we'll see, how much good we do to the edges that we're going to deal with. So I'll be back. You guys talk amongst yourselves, and we'll be back in a minute. All right, y'all, we're back in, and we've got our compound has dried on both the leather and the basswood here. And in the meantime, I went ahead and sharpened up 3 of my wife's knives. All of these had horrific edges on them, and I just blew through them really quick just so we could strop them up. And so what we've got here is the Spyderco Para 3 lightweight with S90V. And then we have the Kershaw Blur, and this one is BDZ1. The Kershaw Blur Tonto. This thing has had tons and tons of use. And then this one here was actually given to Molly by Eggs and Ham. If you guys are not familiar with Eggs and Ham, David and Katie, go and check out their channel. Eggs and Ham 22, I'm pretty sure is the channel name. But go and check them out. Super great people. And David and Katie were kind enough to give this little knife to Molly for her birthday. So this is the Concept Little Main Street in 154 CM. So those are our 3 steels that we're working with here. And first things first, so these have just been sharpened. They've all been brought up to, I think it went up to 1500 grit, 12 or 15, right in that range. And we'll get a baseline on all 3 of these. They have not had the burrs removed, which there definitely is a burr on all 3 of these, which I'll show you here in a moment. But let's see what we've got going here for the sharpness level of these 3 knives at the moment. So here we go. The Little Main Street. Wow, 360. Either I did a really shit job sharpening, or that thing's got a massive burr on it. But like I said, you could see the burrs, and I was actually trying to get a pretty good sized burr on there just so I could show them off to you guys, so you guys can see what I'm talking about here. Hopefully. Okay. Get this set up here. Let's do the S90V. Here we go. .310. So again, big old burr on that thing. I don't know what happened to it, but I lost the cutoff here of the test media. But that's okay. All right. Okay. Now let's check out where we are with the Kershaw Blur. All right, here we go. $3.55. Okay, so we got some work to do on the strop. That's for damn sure. But let me see if I can go ahead and show you the burr on these. See which way it's pointed here. Oh yeah. So right along the cutting edge here, if I shine this flashlight on there, I don't know how well this is going to show up in the camera, but hopefully I can get it in just a way that you can see the burr right there along that cutting edge. So right after sharpening, the goal with stropping is going to be to remove that burr. And there's lots of different ways to go about doing that. Let's see here. You guys can see the light catching on that burr right along the cutting edge there. Hopefully you guys can see that. Okay. And then, oh yeah, on the little main street, let me see if I can do it like this. The little main street definitely has a big old burr on it. I don't know how well it's going to show off though. It's kind of hard to get the camera to focus on that. There you go. You can kind of see it right there. You can see the light catch it. And then also on the pair of three light. Oh yeah. This one is huge. You can see the burr. Yeah, there you go. You can see that burr right there all the way across that cutting edge. So that's what we're going to be removing. Now, I have a couple of different ways. Let's get the sharpness tester out of the way. I've got, you can get things like this here. This is just a 1-inch felt cube. It's like a very dense felt. And you can take this cube here and run the blade over it when you're done sharpening. And the hairs of the felt will grab that burr and kind of rip it off. So you can do that to kind of help remove the burr. But the best way for burr removal is stropping. And so that's what we're going to do here. And first things first, we're going to start, we'll just start with the little main street and the new fancy dancy OCD for EDC strop made by Mr. Steven Kluver. Now, when you're stropping, most of you guys probably already know this, but when you're stropping, you always want to work away from the edge. So you don't want to come back this direction. When you're sharpening and on hard stones, you can go both directions. But for stropping, you always want to work from the spine of the knife to, through the apex. So you're always moving this direction. And that's just because your strop is softer, and so you don't want to cut into it. You can see here this is brand new. This is 6 micron diamond compound on here. And what you're going to do, I'm just holding the strop up to hopefully get a better camera angle on here. But you're going to hold the blade, and what you're trying to do is just refine the apex. So, your secondary bevel, you've got your primary bevel coming down like this, and then your secondary bevel is more like this. And all we're trying to do is refine that apex. We want to remove the burr and then make the apex as fine and as narrow as possible. So you want to strop roughly at the same angle, just a little bit steeper angle than what you sharpened at. And so if you sharpened it, let's just say you sharpened at 15 degrees per side, you're going to want to strop at like 16 or 17 degrees per side. So just a little bit steeper, and you're going to want to set your blade down on there, and then you can move in a lot of different ways. Sometimes I'll start like this with the tip and move like this here, and you'll start to see the your strop will start to turn dark from the material that you're actually removing from the blade. But so having a nice long strop is better in my opinion. This is a very, very small blade here, but So you definitely want to focus on that apex, and because this blade's so small, we don't need to do a lot of side to side movement here. But you can do this a lot of different ways. You can pull off like this direction. And so once you do, generally I kind of count the passes, and I generally go in like batches of 10. So 10 passes per side, and you just want to kind of keep it even. And then I work my way down to where, I'm only doing like 1 or 2 passes per side. So this is how you would go about stropping. Now, of course, lay this down flat on the table, and it works really nice to have 2 hands so you can keep a nice consistent angle. But whatever's comfortable for you, you just want to make sure you're working the correct direction. You don't want to go the opposite way, because then you're just going to cut into your strop and you're going to have a bunch of divots in your strop that are going to be a pain in the butt. And if you want to switch up hands, go for it. And I'm just very, very light pressure. You don't need to push down real hard on this. So that's what you're looking to do. Now, I'm going to sit here and strop these up a little bit, and then we'll switch over to the leather and we'll talk about that. So I'll be back with you in just a moment. All right, Charlie, we're back in. I spent, I don't know, probably did 20, 30 passes each side with each of these knives. You can see I still got stuff on them from the strop. My compound wasn't totally dry, so it's kind of coming off on the blades a little bit, but that's okay. And let's see if we've made any progress here. So we started out, we were well over 300 with each of these. So let's see where we're at now. All right, first up with the Kershaw. Here we go. 185. All right. Got this one loaded up and ready to go. See where we're at here with the little Main Street. I don't remember what each one of these were when we started, but I know they were all over 300. $225, so I'll probably have to do that one just a little bit more with the 6 micron. The 185 is probably good enough to switch over to the 1 micron and refine that edge just a little bit more. Maybe get it down just under the 100 range. So a good factory edge is something under 200, which, a lot of times they're not, but that's what we like to see on a good factory edge. So let's see where we're at here with the S90V. All right, here we go. $185. All right. Well, so now I'm going to go ahead. Actually, we'll go ahead and hit this little Main Street a couple more times, just to clean this one up just a little bit more. This is such a tiny little blade. So as you're stropping here, you can actually feel the burr, because it kind of drags on the strop as you're going. And you can feel when that burr gets down to nothing, so it'll just be sliding along there, just kind of skating along. And then you want to switch over to the other side, and hopefully you don't feel the burr on that side. And, just back and forth a little bit to refine the edge. It's kind of hard to do this under a camera. It's not how I normally would strop just on my own, but so like I said, this is 154 cm. And 154 CM is a good steel that I definitely like to use. It's, a good stainless steel that does a really good job. Alright, I think we're good enough there. So now we're going to go ahead and pull this strop off, which is the 6 micron. And we're going to go over to the leather, which I put 1 micron compound on. And I don't want to contaminate this, so I'm going to clean these blades up and make sure we get all the compound off these blades. Having that compound be a little wet made a little bit of a mess. Nothing terrible, but alright, get this microfiber cloth involved here. Alright. Okay. So now we're just going to do the same thing here. Same thing we were doing. And, you're going to be able to feel this as it's skating along. And you can feel how, after you do this a handful of times, you start to kind of get the hang of it. But you can feel, kind of how refined that edge is and how well, what it feels like on the strop. So if you're at too steep of an angle, you'll feel like you're kind of digging in. And then if you're at too shallow of an angle, you'll be, basically stropping that edge where it goes from the primary grind to the secondary grind. And when you do that, I don't know, it's kind of hard to describe, but a little bit of practice and you'll feel the difference there. You can feel that secondary bevel on the strop. And so you just want to hold it at that, your desired angle and work it on the strop. And like I said, this can be kind of a therapeutic process and kind of, calming and whatnot. This compound isn't very dry either. But once you get the hang of it, you'll kind of understand what I'm talking about when I say that it can be kind of a therapeutic process. And yeah, it's something that's enjoyable to do and just kind of relaxing. And it's also fun to, kind of see how good your edges get. So whether you have a sharpness tester or you just use, a held sheet of paper and, do that kind of stuff, you can definitely tell when the edges are getting good. And then, if you want to take it to the next level, you can, whittle hairs and all that kind of stuff. But I don't get too worked up over all that. There's some people that think that that's cool and whatever, and that's fine. To each their own. The good thing is that you can keep stropping till your little heart's content. And, if you just want to make a game out of it to see how sharp you can get a knife, by all means. It's can be a rewarding process as well as kind of be frustrating. But, it's a good skill to have and it's a good skill to learn. And like I said, removing the burr is kind of the goal of stropping after a sharpening. But then, just edge maintenance strops are very, very good. And you're just tuning up that edge. You're just cleaning up the apex because you can have all sorts of little flat spots and things. And so with the strop, it's just like kind of polishing. I don't want to say, you know, you can achieve a mirror polish with strops, but you'll be here a while. But it's just concentrating on the very apex, just that very edge. And, by refining that edge more and more, you can make your edge perform better and better. And the better you are at it, the more consistent you are, the better results you'll have. And it's one of those things that just kind of practice makes perfect. But the more time you spend with it, the better off you'll get. And so we're just kind of blowing through this pretty fast here. I'm just, showing you how this strop works. And it's definitely a good one. And then, you can see here that I'm just using one side, but you can use, of course, both sides. And because of the length of this strop, it makes it really, really nice to use. You've got a little open spot down here you can rest your finger on without touching the actual strop surface, if that's how you like to kind of find your angle. Whatever way works best for you. You just want to find a good, comfortable spot, and that's how you want to start stropping, and make sure that you have good range of motion all the way across the strop. So let me get these cleaned up here, and then we'll check these edges again. All right, so we're back in. I did a little stropping with the 1 micron, and now let's see where we're at here. Get first ones first. This Para 3 lightweight in S90V. Here we go. 170. So didn't make much of an improvement. A little bit. Tear that out. Let's do the little Main Street here. $150. All right, let's load another one up here. Okay. All right. Now let's check the Kershaw here and see where we're at. Tear that out. Here we go. 160. All right, we're going to go for one more round here. I'm going to clean these up a little bit more, do just a little bit more stropping, and then we'll come back and see how good we got them. Talk amongst yourselves. All right, guys, we're back in. We're going to check these all one more time. I did a little bit more stropping, and we're going to, whatever they are, we're going to call it good here, because I could just keep going and going, but honestly, not going to spend that much time. These are all Molly's knives, and she's going to probably wreck them in a couple of days anyway, so, well, she's sitting right over there. But, so let's get a little look-see and see what we're working with here. So we've got the Spyderco S90V. See what we got. 105. So 105 on the S90V. That's a huge improvement over where it was. So that one's doing good. But let's see what else we got here on these other two. Get this loaded up. All right. Let's take a little look-see on the Kershaw BDZ1. Here we go, here we go. Ooh, that wasn't very good. 205. Obviously, we got a bad spot there somewhere on that little guy, because that was worse than our last test, I think. Let's try her again real quick. I'm going to go up in this area here, see what we're working with. There we go. $150. So definitely still could use a little work on the old Kershaw there. Now let's check out the little Main Street, see where this little guy is. All right, here we go. $190 on the little Main Street. So definitely all under 200, or well, definitely could use a little more, but yeah, I'm not gonna make this a 4-hour video. One thing I did want to say real quick though, just a little FYI, when you see people use these sharpness testers, there's definitely a correct and incorrect way to do this. And I'll show you here real quick. So if you see one of these on someone's channel or anywhere, and you see the person that's doing it, so this tested 105, but I can make it test real good if I just jam it through real fast. So watch this. So we know it's a 105, but if I do this, look, 55. So that's an incorrect reading, and I just hit it through real fast. So if you're watching someone with one of these sharpness testers, you want to see the numbers gradually raising as they're pressing down and pushing weight on there. If you just go real fast, you can get a real incorrect answer, or real incorrect results, if you will. So here we go. The OCD for EDC Strop, made by Steven Kluver, right here in Iowa. You'll get a piece of basswood, 2.5 inches wide, 12 inches long, a piece of leather in the same dimensions, and then the brushed stainless steel base. Now, we're selling these on our website, ocdforedc.com. You can purchase the Strop for $85. Shipping's included. Use the free shipping code. You'll see it there. It's Walter Forever. So just pay attention on the website. All that info is on there. And shipping for the continental United States. If you want one of these internationally, send me an email and we'll work that out. Also, you know, get a little sipping and stropping in on your Saturdays and Sundays. Go check out the mugs. Those are on there and they're on sale right now. You can get free shipping on those as well. So go check out the website, pick yourself up a fancy dancy strop, and then you can sit around and, you know, see how good your sharpening skills are and how good you can cut paper and all that sort of stuff. So there you go. You can also pick yourself up a fancy CME. So go check out the website, guys. Thanks so much for watching. Hope you enjoyed the video. I'm gone.